Steve, that was a tough night. They are banging form at the moment, and they just hit the ground running this evening, didn't they?
Yeah, phenomenal side. They've been probably the form side in this competition. They've added some really high quality overseas players. I think it's a common on where their club is that they can leave someone of the calibre and the ilk of Matt Henry out and rest him, and bring in another international bowler who's coming off the back of the rest, who bowls 4 overs for 12 there. So, yeah, incredibly difficult night for us tonight.
There were starts with the bat, obviously yourself. It looked as though you'd taken a pretty educated decision. The wickets are going at the other end. I need to try and get in and go long here on this one. But it just wasn't to be this evening with the starts that Middlesex got.
Yeah, I think I'll take some responsibility for that. I don't think that's the way that we as a team have wanted to bat. I feel like we, probably for the first time in this competition, have taken a slight step back in our approach. The skill execution stuff in a young team is going to get better and better. But I think our approach today was off. Coming off the back of some really positive batting performances where we've got on the front foot, we've showed no fear, and we've gone and taken control positions. I feel like today we were maybe caught on the hop a little bit, didn't know whether to stick or twist, and I think I've got to take responsibility. As a captain and as the opening batter, I set a poor tone. I wasn't aggressive enough. I wasn't providing the impetus that I know I can do, and I feel like maybe the rest of the guys followed in a similar way. So. Yeah, we move on quickly to Gloucester. We've got some experience over the last couple of days to draw and reflect on as a batting group, some really positive stuff, and hopefully we can do more of the same.
Credit to Overton, that looked like, I know you've taken it on your shoulders there yourself, but that did look like a really top quality spell of bowling.
Yeah, he bowled nicely, and the wicket suits him here, and he hit a really nice length. I think, look, some of the best players in the world, if you look at Tom Collingham there, that they whack you off your length or they make you change something. So, as I said, it's my responsibility there when I'm in the heat of the battle to try and get him off that length. I need to be more consistent and a little bit more fearless in my approach there. And I feel like, you'll see a lot more of that in the coming weeks.
Some credit to Martin Anderson and Jack Davis. They at least gave something to bowl out on the ball, because it could have fallen even worse than that. And they're two of the players who perhaps were under a little bit more pressure in the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to see those guys go out and express themselves and take on the options that we know they've been practicing and we know they're good enough to execute. To come in and play with that freedom probably showed us at the top of the order how to go about it. They weren't second guessing themselves, they weren't worried about getting out, they were taking that positive option, and it just showed that when you have the skill to go with it, which everyone in that dressing room does have, some really cool stuff can happen. So yeah, really pleased for those guys tonight.
Is that a mental approach now? Because obviously 4 from 4, one thing you'll be careful of as a management group and a captaincy is the mental aspects of the dressing room. Is it play with a bit more freedom now? It's been a tough start. We've got to take something from this. Let's go and express ourselves better.
Yeah, and I think, look, particularly from a batting group, actually, quite a few green ticks next to our approach. We're 156 for none after 10 overs in a game that was about 46 hours ago. So you've got to be careful not to be too critical of yourselves as a group, and know that not every night's going to go your way. I think as a bowling group, we've got some pretty tough questions to ask ourselves about how we make inroads at the top there, and what other sides are doing better than us to put us under more pressure. That's not me questioning anyone's skill and ability. I feel like the guys have tried really hard at the top of the order with the ball, and probably bowled without a bit of luck there. But no doubt when you do what they did in the power play and take wickets and hit your length, it becomes extremely difficult in the middle overs.
Word on Blake Cullen, he came off the other evening. He was a player that you're probably going to rely on quite heavily in the group this year. Is he okay?
Yeah, frustrating. I feel like that surface would have suited him really well. He came off with a small niggle the other night. I think just a precautionary one. Hopefully we can get him right for Sunday.
And that is the team this year, isn't it? There's, I think, 6 players that have been called up by the 100 in the last few years, including Cullen and Cracknell, to be fair, so younger elements. But of the other half, it is young players, young spinners. It's a balance that in a group like this, as you said, Somerset are a prime example tonight. Reston International, bringing in an international, and that's how it started against Surrey and Hampshire as well, 2 incredibly strong sides. Yeah,
look, don't get me wrong. It's not an ideal situation to have so many young players in the side at once. I think it brings a fresh element and a level of excitement with some of the talent that we know is in that dressing room, but ideally a team in transition has a few more senior guys with some of that international or franchise experience. But we have what we have. We're in the situation that we are in, and we back our players and we back these young guys to go in and perform. And I think we've seen some really encouraging stuff from the likes of Nathan, Lukey, and I think the onus is massively on myself, Helmy, Peter, Maxi, and these guys that have played a fair bit to try and really help these young guys, because we know how difficult a game it can be.
Good luck on Sunday. Thanks for